How have you guys been? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This feed once again. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for choosing to watch this video. Please choose now to subscribe to this channel. Just hit the subscribe button and also like our videos. Watch all the other videos. And to our old viewers and subscribers, thanks for choosing to be here once again. So how have you guys been? How's your week been? Mine was pretty calm. Nothing exceptional. Nothing stood out this week. Work. I went for a barbecue with my friend and her friends from church. That was nice. We just got talking about different things. So yeah, that was how my week went. So what am I going to be talking about today? I already told you guys I got a car, right? And last week I already told you guys how I passed my knowledge test, which is the first step in getting your driver's license here and driving here. So if you haven't watched that video, please go back and watch it. And so today I'm going to tell you how I actually passed my driving test. So it's as if twice is the charm for me. Like number 2 is my lucky number in this country because I failed my first driving test. Like, it was so funny because like I had prepared. I was so sure I was going to pass, and then boom, out of nowhere, I failed it. Like, I made a major mistake, which meant it was an automatic fail for me, so there was no two way about it. And so I failed that first test. I cried though. I went back and I cried because like I was down at that time because like I'd been applying for jobs and like it just seems as if nobody was answering me. And I went for interviews, so it wasn't as if I didn't go for interviews, but they just weren't getting back to me. And so I was just down. And so I needed that pass, but I didn't get it. So I cried though. My instructor was like, no, just go and pay and drive tomorrow. I'm like, guy, it's as if you don't know that it's $100 that I just threw away, and you're telling me you're gonna throw away another $100 tomorrow. I'm not doing it. My sister said, oh, don't worry, I will send you the money. Do go and write it. It wasn't about the money at that time for me. I was just in the bad place in my head, and so I didn't write the test for 1 more month. So the next month I just stood up again, like with my knowledge test. I just stood up again and decided, okay, I'm conquering you this test today, and I did. So what I did to pass that driving test was I just went and read up, because like I failed the first test, not necessarily because I made a lot of mistakes, or like I made maybe like 3 mistakes, but one of those 3 mistakes that I made was a major mistake. Like, so with the driving test, you're given a maximum amount of points. So mistakes are allowed. Basically, you can make mistakes, but each mistake attracts a point, and it will just continue counting until you get to that point. So for the basic, which I took, I think it was the maximum is 75. So I made like 3 mistakes, but there are also major mistakes that you make that automatically there is nothing that, like, even if you drive like I don't understand, like you don't make any other mistake, like you drive like Jackie Chan, like because you made that first mistake, automatically you have failed. And some of those mistakes include not stopping at a stop sign, going too slow, or obstructing traffic, which was what I did. So when you are turning left and you are the first in line, you're supposed to come out and you're supposed to come out and stand there until you see a space between those that are coming from straight, and once there's a space, you're supposed to start going. So me, what I did was I came out, stayed. I did the right thing, came out, stayed, and I was ready to go when there was a break in traffic, but the light turned red, and so it confused me. I didn't know what to do. I was just standing there. I was looking at him, but they're not supposed to tell you anything. They're not going to give you A, they're not going to give you B. You're supposed to do it by yourself. The man was just looking at me. Eventually, because we were obstructing traffic and we might have caused an accident, he told me to go back. So I went back. The rest of my test actually went smoothly. I did really well because I felt like only 2. I didn't even get up to like 20 points from the other ones that I failed. And so he was like, you did really well, blah blah blah, but you made a major mistake and blah blah blah, and so you failed. So what I did when I was going to take my second test was I went and I watched a lot of YouTube videos about how to take left turns, what to do at four-way stops. Like basically I went to go and read up on what will automatically fail you. So I would leave a link to a document, to a website that will tell you all those automatic fails. And so I went and read up on that. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. On the day of my test, I told my tutor to come very early in the morning. We did 2 hours. Now I paid him more. Like in this country, skilled labor is they are making money. Like I think I paid him like $100. That's in addition to renting his car. I think he made a cool $150 for me that day or something like that. No, I think I paid him 100. I'm like, haba, I've already learned with you the first time. I paid you 500. I brought my housemate, she paid you 500. Then I booked card. No, now pity me. And so eventually I paid 100 or thereabouts. And I also went with my rosary. I mean, Mama Mary speaking. I carried my rosary. It was my jacket, like in my head. Like before I started driving, I was touching it, holding it, and then I went on my drive. And this time, funny enough, I made more mistakes. But because like I didn't make a major mistake. Oh no, I made one mistake that I thought was a major mistake. Almost immediately as I started my test, like I came to a traffic intersection, and the light was counting down, so I knew it was going to turn red soon. And so I kept going. I was confused. Should I go? Should I not? So I made the decision to keep going. And when I kept going, the lights went to amber. So you can cross on amber if you're already crossing, but if you have not crossed the line, you just stay back because the light is going to turn red almost immediately. So I thought I had failed, but fortunately for me, the guy that did the second test was the same guy, and he even recognized me, and so we talked about it. I was already panicking. I was cursing under my breath, and he was like, just calm down and keep going. And so it didn't tell me whether what I did was right or wrong, or whether I passed or I failed. It just said, just calm down and keep going. And that calmed me down, and I just kept going, did all of my parking, parallel parking, uphill, downhill, did all of my parking. And then we go back. Like I was shaking, but like I just put the shaking behind me and just kept going. And eventually when we got back to the registry, he told me, Mrs. Ifeyinga. I'm like, what told you me, Mrs.? Did you give me your brother to marry? So you have passed your test today. Congratulations, blah blah blah. I didn't even wait for him to say this. I just shouting. I went to meet my tutor, and I didn't have my driver's education certificate with me, so I didn't get my license that day. So I came back the next day, had my picture taken, and all of that. And eventually I got my license in the mail. Like I think after like 10 days, it's supposed to come in like 21 days. So yeah, that was basically what I did to pass my test the second time. Like I said in my previous video, if you have your foreign license, please use it for those first 3 months. Take advantage of it because you will need it. Because like I didn't have anybody here, so it was just those 10 hours that I used to learn that I got all the practice in. So there are still things that I'm still learning. Like, okay, not necessarily still learning. Like they probably told me, but because I wasn't practicing it, I didn't know it. But like there are things that I will be doing as I'm driving now, and I remember, oh yes, my tutor said this. Makes sense. The next time it just comes to me very easily. So yeah, that was my experience with getting my driver's license. So how was the experience like? Has any of you taken the driving test here? Those of you who have landed, and for those of you who are yet to move to Canada, like what are you scared of about driving here? Like there's sometimes I'll be driving like on the highway, and I'm like, Ifeyinwa, Fee, you used to do 120 back home in Nigeria. I used to feel like a Don, Jackie Chan, one hand on the steering, you'll be going 120, like it's not breaking you. This one to do 100, my mind will be cutting. I'll be like, Jesus, waiting be this. Like I'll just be going, I'm like, 100. So yeah, like just tell me about your experience driving in Canada so far. Mine has been okay. I've just been going to like I work from home, so I haven't really needed to do a lot of driving except over the weekend, and so it hasn't really been a bad experience. So once again, thanks guys for being here. Tell me about your experiences in the comment section. Hit me up on social media. It's ph underscore EEE. So PH underscore triple E on both Instagram and Twitter. So hit me up there. And once again, I would like to please subscribe to the channel and help us grow. And share the link with your friends, family, anyone that you know. Just share my link, please. And also like and comment. Tell me your opinion, tell me what's been going on, and if there's any topic that you would want me to talk about, please leave that in the comment section below and I will talk about that. We'll discuss that.